good evening to all of you. And in the last class we have discussed about the basics of our general topics related to the servlets, that what all basic things could be there related to a servlet and processing associated with a servlet. All that things we have gone through that, correct? Now here what next thing what we are going to talk about is how we are going to, or my question is, means all the basic small things you might have seen it here, right? As well as parallelly I have shared some documents also with you all. You must be going through that, you must be reading it out, all these things, fine? So suppose your question is, okay sir, that we got it here, so still we are on the topic is what is servlet. Question is, what is servlet? Fine. So when I am saying, when you are asking what is servlet, so servlet is a server side technology, or in another form, if we'll say here, it's a server side programming language. It is a server side programming language, servlet is, fine. So here, apart from this, here just have a look at servlet here, right? So when we talk about the servlet, so see here, what is the servlet? Servlet is a web technology which is used to develop the web-based application. What is this now? It's a web-based application. So that already in the previous session I have explained you about the web-based, what exactly web-based application is. So what is this now? Servlet is the web-based technology, correct it is, and it's been provided by Sun MicroSystem. So previously Sun MicroSystem we were there, and then further it's been overtaken by the, you can say, Oracle. Now next one here it is, as some, or the next point what here I have just written is, web application is a type of application which whole application will be on the server machine. Just now I have explained in the last class itself, I have explained about the server side, and that can be accessed with the help of web browser, or in another form we will be calling it as a web client. So with the help of web clients we can access all these sort of things. With the help of web client we can access the different components which is there associated with the servlet in these cases, correct? Now here the next thing is what? To develop the web application you need to develop the client side component as well as server side component. Here I'll be explaining you about what exactly client side component is and what exactly server side component is here. Now client side component, in the previous video already I have explained you. Those who haven't gone through that, go through the last class. Server side component is something like that can be written in the HTML, JSP, XHTML something, and now the server side component can be developed by using the servlet, JSP and filters, etc. Here is one, guys, the basic diagram which I have just written here in order to explain the basic functionalities of the complete application, how things works, what all the again internal processing things, how it is working here. So say for first example, this is client machine. When I am saying client machine, so see here I'll explain you, or I'll here itself in this class itself I'll show you how to write the first servlet example. So in this here, this is the client machine what you are getting. Client machine means in your system what you have. Your system, that's what you are having, which we are calling it as a client machine. Now in that you are hitting to some of the, you can say, URL or address you are typing it, web address you are typing. So something called as the jtcindia.org. with the help of this browser, that browser could be anything, you are typing it, and that request is going to the DNS server. Fine it is now. When it is going to the DNS server, so in the DNS server, with this given URL, with the corresponding given URL, there is one machine IP which is there here. What is this now? Machine IP is available associated with that. Now in the case of machine IP, whatever the IP we are getting here, this machine IP is available. Associated with this particular machine IP what we are getting here, this is the machine IP what we are having, right? It is, so this is the machine IP we are getting here, fine. Now when I am getting this machine IP, so in this server machine is there. In server machine what is there? Web server is there. Inside the web server what is there? Container is there. And in container there could be n number of applications which is currently running it here. So all these terminologies, once I am installing the Tomcat, and then you will see what all things is working inside this here. So I hope you understand, basically like you are typing facebook.com, you are typing youtube.com, or whatever you are doing it, right? So this is how internally it is working in that case. Any questions in this now? Hope so there is no questions and no doubts again associated with all that. Now coming to the next scenario here, guys. What is the next thing we are here is the things which I have already explained about all these things, how is request is working, what all the other processing things which is there here related to all these things. Now here you can just have a look to the corresponding servlet versions and its enterprise editions what we are calling here, correct now? So that's, you can just go through that. Like when we talk about Servlet 2.0 release, so it was under the J2EE 1.2, then next 1.3, then next 1.4. From 2.5 onwards it is called as JEE, correct? And now after that 3.0, 3.1 and respectively other versions are there here. Here now Tomcat installation and all things. So at present I am first explaining you how things what we are going to write here. Have a look now. Guys, see. Question is now, I want to write a servlet program. What I want to write now? I want to write a servlet program here. I want to write one servlet program in these cases here. Fine. Here what I want to write is the servlet program I want to write. So I am writing here servlet program I wanted to write here. Fine, it is the servlet program which I want to write. In order to write a servlet program, or in order to develop a, instead of calling it as a servlet program, I am calling it as an web-based application. Here what I am calling it as an web-based application I am calling here. Fine. So when I am saying here this is the web-based application, so in order to write this web-based application, what all entire components we are having. So web-based applications is one shot itself. So in this I am dividing it into the two parts. The one which is we need to develop some client-side technology, or sorry, client-side components using which user or your client can get. So this we can do with the HTML, or basically what we are going to use, some kind of JSP we are using. This is one shot. When I am saying, or when I am talking about second point, so in this now we need the .java file. In another form we are calling it as an servlet program we are calling. And after writing this now .java servlet, after writing it, third component what we are having is the web.xml we are having. Fourth one what we need is the web server we need. So over the web server these complete things will be deployed in your system. So from where the first thing we are going to start? from where the first thing which we are going to start. Remember that point. So here see that first we have, what is that we are having now? .java file we have, that is the servlet, and we need the servlet APIs also. So I'll write here, fifth one is servlet API. I need it here. What I need is the servlet APIs, different sort of servlet APIs we need in these cases. We are in need of different servlet APIs, guys, here. So that servlet API somehow is required in these cases here. These all are the servlet API, we need it here. Fine, it is now. So this is the servlet API we need. So this is .html or .jsp file we have. This is the what we have, .java file we have, web.xml file we have, web server we have, and again that is the servlet API we are having. These all are the different components what we are getting in these cases here. Correct now? Okay. So I'll first show you how to write or how to install first. We need all these things. Correct? So first of all, I'll show you how to install the web server here. So we are going to use, so here have a look now in the say here now, guys. At this time here I am writing here. What is that I am going to write now? I am going to write few of the following things into this. Here I will write it inside this case. I am writing something called as wait a second. First, I'll open the Tomcat I am writing here. Fine. In this system at present, Tomcat which is there is installed already. In this system, Tomcat which is available here has been installed already. Fine. So I'll do one thing here first. I'll make it uninstall. I'll uninstall the Tomcat at very first point. I'm uninstalling the Tomcat, right? So I'll go to the control panel. Here I'm going into the control panel now. Well, let's have a look. Now in this control panel, I'm just going to do few things here. So see, Apache Tomcat we are uninstalling. I'm just closing it. I have uninstalled the Apache Tomcat from this system. I have uninstalled the Apache Tomcat here. See. Now we don't have it. Now the very first thing, what exactly I want to do here is, in this case now, I'm installing the Tomcat, which is the version at present what we are using here is 9 version we are using. So let's have a look here, guys. Here is the, I hope you are able to see this, the Tomcat 9.0 something as I'm trying to use here. Fine. So well, I'll just do one thing, double click on this, or you can say I'm showing the steps how you are going to develop, how you are going to write first your web applications, and what all the different steps you are following in order to write the first web application in this case. Fine. So well, I am writing here inside this. The next I am clicking here, I agree, next, and here you see there are different port numbers which is available. At this time I am not doing any kind of changes associated with these port numbers. Okay, keep it in mind, I am not doing any sort of changes related or associated with this corresponding port numbers, whatever as such it is available here. Now it is asking one thing, if you can read it out, this message gives some knowledge about this corresponding one when you are installing it. So what it is giving here, please select the path of a Java SE 7.0 or later JRE installed on your system. Fine. So it is asking that please select the path of a Java SE or 7.0 or later JRE installed in your system. It is asking that. What it is asking? That give that corresponding location. So well, I'll do one thing. In our system we have installed maybe the JDK 1.9. So if you will go to the C drive under the program files, we will find somewhere Java folder. See, here you are able to find the Java folder. Now in this Java folder I am just selecting here, what is that I am selecting now? It's in JDK, the version which I have given here, guys. Click on next now. I am installing it here. See, it will take some time to process this complete installation. And well, now at present run Tomcat, Apache and this that, everything I am unchecking. And now what we have done is, mostly we have installed the Apache Tomcat here. We have installed it now, guys. There's now what I will do now, next one is I am just opening Tomcat. So here monitor Tomcat, it is giving one thing here, this option you are getting in this. Well, when you are getting this option, so in this case now I'll right click on this, run as administrator I am doing here, and after doing it now I am clicking on next. And now you check it out here, here in the this place. It is giving state service status is stopped, and now we need to start this service. And now I am clicking it, okay. I am just doing it now. Okay, after doing all these things, your Tomcat is successfully installed now. We will write few things here now. Slash localhost, and something 8080 might be the port number for this. So let's check it out whether we are able to install it properly or not. Okay, I'll do one thing. Instead of doing like this, I'll directly show it with the Apache. Sorry, Eclipse. Now here is your Eclipse. Here is the Eclipse what we are having. Now with this Eclipse I wanted to integrate your Tomcat. So I'll do one thing here. I am writing here, which one now? Workspace, and in this workspace itself I am creating a new workspace here, YouTube, which I am writing here, or for you, that is the online class. It is the Servlet class as I am writing here, and I am just launching this workspace. Let it process here. It is under the processing. Now you can have a look here. This is a new workspace which I have created here, guys. I hope you are able to have a look on this all things. This is the workspace which I am creating. In this workspace, the very first thing which I am doing here is I'll do one thing. See, previously when you were writing a simple Java program, what you are doing? You are writing you are creating the simple Java project. Now if you will see in this case, now I am not creating a simple Java project, I am creating a dynamic web project. I am creating here, what is that I am creating now? Dynamic web projects as I am creating here. Have a look now in these all things. So when I am creating this dynamic web project, whenever as such I am creating here the dynamic web project. So what is the new things which I am trying to do here? What is the new things as such I am trying to do here? So the web project, whatever we are having here, whatever we are trying to do in this case, the web projects what we have created in this case is something like here you see that it's a test servlet as such I have created as a dynamic web project. And in this, if you will see here few things, okay, I am not doing any changes, just the web module which I have created selected here is the 3.0 web module, and because of the depending on the web module there will be a DTD files will be generated inside the web XML. We will go through that. And now here I am clicking on next, and you see here it is asking one thing clearly, that is the generate web.xml deployment descriptor. What it is asking? A generate web.xml deployment descriptor. Yes, click on yes, you wanted to generate the web.xml deployment descriptor, and now click on finish. Now once you have done all these things, let it open once. Now you see, this is the complete structure what you are able to see. Complete structure what you are able to see. I'll just zoom it for you so that you can read it out. See here, have a look guys here. This is the project structure what you have created here. Now there is one more folder called as the web component, and let's see what you are getting here under the web component. Under the web component there is a meta inf, web inf is available here now. Under this web INF, there are again few things which is available now. under this web.xml now. This web.xml, what you have? See here, this is the web.xml what we are having, and here now I am showing you the source. In source you can find here, this is the above one, some code is there. I will be talking about this code later on, what exactly this code is there inside the web XML. Okay, so at present I am not going into these all things, fine. Okay, the next part is that here, say here. So the very first thing is that I need to integrate what? Apache, the Tomcat with this Eclipse, this IDE here, fine. So I am writing few things here. What is that few things I am writing now? In the few things now, hope you are able to see this code. So this is your web.xml. Now I'll just do one thing here. In this server one, you need to click on the server one, the server part which is available here. You are able to see that here in this Eclipse, step by step things as I'm showing you here. So on this part now, I'll just right click on this, you will just do new server, and here you see, I'm just writing here which server we wanted to get. So we are going into the Apache, and under that here the Tomcat 6.0 we are getting here. The Tomcat 6.0 whatever we are getting here. Here Tomcat 6.0 we are getting here, fine. So this Tomcat 6.0 we are getting it, and now you see here the Tomcat installation directory. Where is your Tomcat installation directory? That also we need to have a look. Where exactly my Tomcat installation directory is, and how do I need to go there first? So I am just selecting from here what I need to select now. Under the C drive, program files, Apache Software Foundation, Tomcat 9, and now I am selecting here. This is the Tomcat what you have to select here. Workspace bench, I am not doing anything, just click on and see here. Now if you will check one thing here guys, what I have to do here is I'll just show you in this case is, what is that now? See here. You need to have a look on these things very clearly. See here, available one side, the left hand side available, right hand side configured, it is coming. So at present in this workspace, in this complete workspace, what all different projects which is available here, that it is showing here. The different number of projects whatever is available here, it is showing that here in this. The number of projects which is available here, it is showing that. And at the same time, here is the project what it is available here, that it is showing you here in this case. And configured one, so at present it is showing that there is no project configured yet. So if you want this project to be configured, because see, in a workspace you could have n number of projects, but it is not mandatory or it is not necessary that all the projects whatever you are getting here, that all will get configured into your corresponding one. So that is one very important thing which you could understand here, which you could get it into this case, is correct. So it's not mandatory at all that all the projects which is there that will be configured inside this. So what I'll do now here, this particular project now I'm adding to the configured one. So see, once I have added it, it comes to the configured side. And now once it is coming to the configured side, so click on finish here. I have just done the finish of this project. Here you see, Tomcat 9.0 stopped. It is stopped, means this is your server, and at present your server is not running at all. Your server whatever is available here guys, so it's not running at all here, correct? Your server is not running here first. So I'll do one thing. in order to check everything whether it is okay or not, I'm just doing one very simple thing, that is the Tomcat 9.0 whatever is there here. I'll right click on this and I'll start the server. So I'm just doing right click on this and I'm starting this server here. Have a look. I have started this server. When I have started this server, so see here, it is giving some errors here. You see, you can just read it out. Whenever I have started it, it is giving some error here in this. What is that error? So error is giving related to something called as the port number, which is 8005, 8080 and 8009. This is the complete port number what it is giving in this, which is required by something and already in use. Okay, this 8080, 8005 and 8009, 3 port numbers are there. You can note it down. 8080, 8005 I'm saying, and next one is the 8009. These 3 are the port numbers what we are having, which is running it here. Okay, now what I do here is, now I'm going to change this port number. So from where I need to change this port number? Say in your wherever you have configured this server, so you will go into this now server. I'm just going into this. After going into this, now server.xml you are going, and immediately after going all these things here, Control F, you do one thing. Here you see Control F I'm doing, and what was your port number? The first port number what we were having is the 8005. 8005 I am writing, and I'll be replacing this by 1234. This is the port number. Find and replace. I did it here. Yes, it is all replaced. We'll do one thing, save it now. Once again I am just using the Control F, and when I am using this Control F, so I did for the, now I'm looking for the 8080. This is the port number I'm looking, and something called as the 999 which I'm replacing it. So find and replace it, replace all. I closed it. Again I am saving it, and the last one more port number what we have is the 8009. 8009 something I am writing, and something here I have written something like this, replace all, closing again into this case. Here I am saving it here. Fine. Okay. So in these cases guys, what next further things which we are looking for? So this is the server.xml. From here you need to change all these things. Well, I can do one thing here, that now I am going to start this server again. So let me see whether I am able to start the server or not. We are starting the server. Well, we have started the server. There is no problem at the time of starting the server here. Fine. We have started the server here. See, at present I am just showing you all these things related to the Eclipse, and parallelly I will also tell you how. Okay. Now I'll do one thing here. I just want to do some kind of structure deployment into these cases here. So see here, what all the different things, options what you are having at present. Here you see. What I'll do here is, in these cases now we have the Java resources also. Here we are having the Java. So see, remember one thing here. Few of these resources what we are having here. So you need to understand these all folders, structures, where and in which what the corresponding things are available into this. How these things are available here, what all the other processings are available here. So we have a project name. The project name what we have is the test servlet we have. This is the project name. Fine. Under this particular project, we have one more thing which is called as the Java resource. We are having, this is the Java resource. Fine. I hope you are able to see, and inside this Java resource we have folder called as src. So under the Java resource we are having one folder which is called as, which one now? It is the src folder we are getting here. And next to that, now we have one more thing called as, under this particular project itself, we have one more important file which we are getting is the web content we are getting. What is that we are getting now? Web content you are getting. Fine. And under the web content we have one more important thing which is web INF we are having. Correct? These all things we are having. And inside this web INF we have one more thing called as web.xml inside this. Understand here now, guys. Have a look now here. See what I was talking about. The one thing what I was talking about, this is your test servlet. It is your project, or in Eclipse when we talk about, so this is dynamic web project we are talking about. This is the dynamic web project. We are talking about this particular one is the dynamic web project here. This is the dynamic web project we are talking about. Here one is the dynamic web project. Under this dynamic web project there is a resource called as Java resource is available here. This is Java resource at present is available, guys, inside this case. We are having the Java resource. Under this Java resource, src folder. So in src folder you will write your .java file, or you are saying it as an servlet you are going to write. Whatever servlets you are going to write, whatever things you are going to define, that all things you are going to write into the src folder. Fine. I will tell you how to write the src folder. Now you have two things here now. One, directly you have web content. What you have now? Web content. So whatever related things which is there related to the web. So what is there now? Your client side technologies, correct? So directly in the web component you will write your .jsp file or .html file you will write. This is things you are going to write directly inside the web component here. See, directly inside web component. This I am going to write directly inside the web component. I am going to write here, correct? And after writing this directly inside the web component, now next another point is there. Here this is the web XML. So web XML needs to be changed as per the requirement. So this is there under the web INF. Make it clear here now. Whenever you are writing at the beginning level, the most problematic mistakes what you are going to do is, this is the thing which you are going to do here. So this one I have written here is the web.xml also I have written here, guys, understand it here. This is the web.xml sort of things which I have written inside this. Now let's understand something differently in some different way, in the some different manner here. What is that I am going to now say? Say here now. Web.inf, web.xml is available now. So everything is fine now. So here let's write the program on the basis of the same things as such whatever we are having. Fine? Okay. So our first task is what at present I am just trying to write here. What is that? A .html file I will write so that I can show you how it is going to display something on your console. So I am writing, what is that I am going to write now? .html or the .jsp file, well I am going to write it inside this case. Fine. So let's see. In the web component folder, I am writing new, and in that HTML, I am going to define few more things here. So I'll write one more HTML file here, guys. So say here, I'm writing something called as the index.html. Well, I'm going to write, and well, after doing this, I'm clicking on next, and well, we will see what we are going to do. So instead of selecting HTML5, I'm doing it HTML4, something like this, and now I am clicking on this something here. after doing all these things, now here you see this is the HTML. So in HTML, I hope you are aware with that. Those who are not aware with the basics of HTML, what is HTML tag, head, meta tag, title, body, all these things, you please go through that, have the basic knowledge of all these things, and then we will talk about this. So here, well, now I am writing H1. This is the H1 something I have written here. So inside the H1, well, I am writing and the opening as well as the closing tag. So hi, this is my first servlet test I am doing. Example I am doing here. This is my first test servlet example which I am doing in these cases. Correct? Now, associated again in this case, here what is the further things which I want to do? Here see web.xml you have, then we have index.html we are having, all the sort of things we are having, fine. So this index.html I need to register into the web.xml, you see here. Here inside this already it is available here. What it is already available, that is the web.xml. Inside this welcome file, index.html is already available, and rest of the things. So I'll tell you what is the meaning of writing multiple welcome pages, but at present okay, let's not talk about that. Why do we write it? So at present what I will do now, from here I'm removing all these welcome files from here. I have just removed it, everything. I'm not writing anything inside this. I have removed all the welcome files here, nothing is there inside this, fine. So this is the welcome page first I have written, although it will not be able to take any request and something like that, but first is based on the servlet, based on the server, how when we are running the program, how things are being processed. So let's look at this. Now I am running it here. So I'll right click on this, and after doing it now, I am running the run on server, we are doing something here, fine, okay. When I am just clicking on run on server, I am clicking on here OK. Here you see one web page what you have got here, that is the hi, this is my first servlet test example. We got it, we got the HTML. Now you see one more thing here, see. Inside this HTML, I wanted to create, what I want to create now? Some of the basic form I wanted to create. I want to create, what is that? Some of the basic form I wanted to create in the case of HTML. So what is that basic HTML forms which I wanted to create here? That again you should understand here what the things, what is the processing which I am talking about. So what is the main objective here? Let's have here first with a diagram, and then you will understand it in a more better manner. See guys, have a look. I hope this point, what as such I have explained you, it is clear to you all. Where, which file, where, what I need to write is fine for you all. So in these cases now guys, I'll write few more things here. What is that few more things I am going to write now? Have a look now. See, I wanted to write a basic test web applications like this. See, what is the test web basic applications? I am just creating one simple login.html I am creating, or instead of login, what I can say here now, I am creating, what is that I am creating now? I am creating few things here, which is the index.html I am creating. What is that? Index.html, well, I am creating in these cases, fine. In this username and password I am going to write here. This is the username and password, and well, submit I am doing. So this is the username and password. Well, I am doing here, that is the submit I am doing here. Fine. This is the thing which I have written here. So this is one form I wanted to create it first. I want to create here one form of this index.html. Again, associated with that, when it is making some request, so this is your client side things. It is your client side. And at the same time, this is your server side component. So in server side component, you are going to write what? Servlet. And this both things, you are combining with each other by using something called as the web.xml, or the same thing which we can do with the help of annotation also we can do. So we can use all that things in the different possible manner, in the different forms we can write it here. Are you getting my point? This is how differently things are working. Into the web.xml you can write here web app, and associated with this I will tell you what is the internal processing. So one, I need to create this, and then I need to write the servlet, and then accordingly HTML as well as the servlet, both I need to update into the web.xml. Fine. So have a look now, guys. So in these cases, first I just want to write here I am writing here the form. When I am writing this form, so in form you need to first decide the action. So I am writing here login.jtc is my action name. Login.jtc is what the action name what we are having. And at present, just by writing the login.jtc, which is an action name, I wanted to write in this form, I wanted to create one table. I hope you are getting it. So this table I want to create, and when I am creating this table, so in this one I am writing tr and something called as the td here, right? So well, I am writing here tr, table row, and in this you can say that is the table row, whatever you are defining inside this, we are going to write something called as the table data also. Fine. So I'll do one thing. Here I am closing it. tr I have written. In this table row, I am writing here one td. In td, what is that I am writing? User name I am writing. This is a very simple one I am creating here. This is one tr data you have written. Table row data we have written here. Fine. It is giving some error. Okay, we will see it. Now in this case itself, I am defining, see, what I have written is the table username I have written. Next I want to write what is the behavior of this username, whether it is going to take the kind of text or you are going to take it is, so what kind of things it is going to exactly have things. So I am writing something called as the td, and this inside this here I am writing here this td, something like this. Now when I am writing all these things, td and all other sort of things, whenever as such I have written into this username and all this. So in this case now I am writing here input. What is that input? So input type is equal to something called as the text I have written here. Input type is equal to, I have written here the text inside this, and associated with this now I am writing here something called as the, which one I am writing? See, text it is. So some name, and that name whatever as such I am writing, it's a logical name something I am writing with which we can access this data. So see here, TR as well as the TD something I am writing into this, and well, associated with all these things here now, the different way of writing the things we have written here inside this. Getting my point now? So here, well, you can just give it like this. So we have written something like this here, TR. Well, again now, into this here itself, I'll write one more, you can say the TR. Well, one you have written, that is the username, and next what I'm going to write is the, so username as well as the password, something like that we will write, and then we are proceeding it further in these cases here. Fine. So we got the TR, something called as that, again in that form. TD we are writing, we have closed the TD here. Fine. And what next now? Okay. Again one more TR I have written, and associated with this TR I have closed it here. So see, remember one point, up to one extent, whatever tags you are writing, whatever tags you are doing, means writing here, that tag which is there, you must have to close that tags there itself. Fine. You are just closing this tags. Now I am writing again TR. Into that now I am writing here TD, and well, I'll close this TD. Inside this now I am writing password, I am writing, and here you have a look now, password I am writing, and again in this case now TD something I am writing. Here I am writing, this is the TD inside this case. After writing the TD here, the important thing what we need is, in this case now I am writing here, that is input type is equal to, here password I am writing. What is that I have written now? Input type which is there is the password I am writing inside this. And more, or you can say that is more specifically with this, by writing the password. So see, why I am writing password? One is the text and second one is something called as the password we have written. What is the main meaning of both things? If I am writing here type is equal to password, so whenever you will enter the password, at that time you will not be able to show to the user that what kind of password you are entering into this case. Fine. You are not going to enter. Here what you can do, one thing here guys, just I'll just close this magnifier in this. Okay. Here you see. I hope you are now able to understand it here. Now I'll do one thing here. So let's look at this now. What is that now? Here you see. See, when I am talking about username and something, so username should be visible. Username, when I am saying, so username should be visible here. Whatever you will write, it should be visible. But at the same time, whenever you are writing the password, so this password should come like this, something like this, so that what anyone is giving, it is not going to be visible. It should not be visible to the others. And that's the way you are going to write here the, what is that now? Submit also you are going to write. So that is what here we are again writing all these things into this. Hope you are getting it here. Fine. Again, well, in the like further cases here, see here, see here guys, You can have a look here. Here you see. Okay, sorry. Now you have a look here now, see. Means the different forms I can create here. Whatever the total number of forms, so see, this is one form which I am creating here, fine. One form which I am writing it into this here, input type, something called as the form you are writing here. Another different ways, different here I have just written the submit. Here I have just written all of them. That's what I have written here, the submit. I'll do one thing once. It is giving error. Okay, it will go away now. So I'll just now do one thing. I'll just fresh it up. Here you see 3 different actions you have created here. What you have created now? 3 different actions you have created. Now when I am clicking on test.jtc, so here nothing is, 404 is giving. If I am clicking hello.jtc, it is 404 is giving. And again if I am writing admin.jtc, so it is giving the 404. So what is now next option we are having, guys? Say here, I am just showing you at present the first how it is handling the request and response, how it is taking it here, fine. Okay, so I'll do one more thing here in this. In these cases now, what is this now? Just a second. In Java resource src folder, I am writing one Java file here, you see. It's a Java class I wanted to write here, or a class simple I wanted to write. When I am writing the simple class, so inside this now com.jtc.servlet I have written, and inside this now test servlet I am writing few things here. Now we will get it into the different forms as well as the different manner. I'll write here something. So see, first, before doing anything, I need to build the path here. I need to give the jar file location. Here I am writing built Java path. In the Java path here, I am taking the, here this one, add external jars. Under the C, under the Apache, under the Tomcat, you are getting lib. And in the both of the cases here, servlet API.jar which is there, that I need to build it here. That's what I have done. Now when I wanted to write the servlet here first, so I must have to extend. Why do I need to extend here? That also I'll explain it. So I am writing here, what is that now? Extends HTTP. I am writing here HTTP servlet. This is one thing which I have extended here, I have written into this. When I am writing HTTP servlet, so well I'll write here public init method I am writing here servlet config I am writing sc I have written here, and public void of service I am doing, and this service HTTP servlet request REQ and HTTP servlet response RES I am doing. Okay, these two things well I have written into this, and here is the public void of destroy method I am writing, and you got it one point here that in servlet basically we have three lifecycle methods: init, service and destroy. Init, service and destroy we are having here. So I'll do one thing now. Here you see, now I am going to the web.xml here. See guys, now it is going to be different from the core Java, so you need to again get it into, see, inside the web.xml. Inside the web.xml you have configured already index.html. Now I need one thing here, that is the servlet mapping one thing. I need to map the servlet. So first, before mapping it, I need to define the servlet. So well, I am writing here the servlet file, servlet, in that I am writing servlet name, and associated with this servlet class I am writing into all this. So when, well, I have written all these things servlet, so what I need to do now, servlet name and URL pattern I am writing inside this case. So servlet name as well as the URL pattern I am writing inside this. So what is the servlet name here? Suppose I'll write here the test is the servlet name. And what is the servlet class I want to write? com.jtc.servlet I am writing here. So well, I am writing here com.jtc.servlet I am writing something called as the test. Here is the test I have written here. This is the servlet class, fully qualified class name I have given, and associated with this here now, okay, this servlet class and servlet name both I have given here. In servlet name I am writing here the test, and well, associated with this test, see this name, servlet name, this one whatever you have written, and this above servlet name, that must be, both must be the same. So in this one now here, from the index.html I am taking the test.jtc. Well, this is the URL pattern, this is the form action. So I am taking here test.jtc. So well, I am writing here test.jtc. I have written here, this is the file now I am writing here. Fine. I'll do one thing now. Now I am running this particular program. I am running this one. So run as server here. After running the server, what is the further things which I want to do now? See here now. As such, we have got this page. I am clicking on this test.jtc. There is no problem because we have not written any response at present. Hello.jtc we have not mapped, so it is giving 404, and at the same time admin.jtc we have not mapped, so it is giving 404. So this is one. Now in this we can add the username, password and all other sort of things inside this. The different things which is there, we can write it here and we can add it here, guys. Correct now? So next things we will see in the further class. We will extend this program, we will write these programs in a more better manner and more extensively we will write. So if in between that you are getting any kind of questions, any doubts you are getting, you can please keep on writing it. You can please keep on asking the questions. Thank you.